4 settings to change in AutoCAD before you start working on your project. And the thing is, AutoCAD by default, it doesn't have the right unit settings in the beginning, not the right text size, and not the right dimension settings. So we're going to fix all of that in this video. Hi there, my name is Jay, and I'm the founder of JCAD, a drafting service based in Los Angeles. I make AutoCAD tutorials on YouTube, and I focus on AutoCAD for Mac. Let's get into this. So the first thing we want to set up when we start a drawing, so I do have a reference drawing here, just so we can reference, oops, that's not the one, we wanted to reference this one, but we want to get to something like this essentially. So I have the same version, but it's actually empty, no text, no dimensions, so let's get into it. So when you start the drawing from scratch, in this case I have this drawing to help us, but if you're starting a drawing from scratch, the first thing you need to change is actually the units. So how do you change the units in AutoCAD? So you can access the units window by typing UN on the keyboard, and this will open this window. And the only setting we want to change here is where it says length, type, and we want to change where it says decimal, we want to switch that to architectural. Now, before I change it, I just want to show you what's the problem with this and why we need to change it. So let's say we want to draw a line, okay? So let's say I want to draw like maybe another chair here, for example, and then I want to do, for example, 2 feet, and I'm going to hit return, and boom, see we get, I don't know if it's noticeable, but we get a red frame around like the dimension box. So the reason for that is right now AutoCAD is not understanding the foot symbol. So even if we did inches, for example, we put the inch symbol and we hit return, it's still not getting it. It's not able to draw the line. So that's why we need to change the units from decimal to architectural so it understands the unit. So we're going to go back to units and we're going to change this to architectural. Then we're going to hit OK. That's the only setting you need to change in this window. And then now when we do a line, and then we try to do 2 feet, and boom, here we go, we're able to do it, and no problem. And then we're going to close the shape, and here we go. This is our square for this in this case. Okay, so that was the first setting you need to set up in AutoCAD. Second setting you need to change is actually the text. So the problem with text in AutoCAD, by default, it doesn't have a size assigned, or it's assigned a very small size. So let me illustrate this. So the problem is when you start the text command, you're going to see like we're not going to be able to see it. I'm going to start the command by typing T. I'm going to hit return. And the way the text command works is you need to draw a dialog box. So I'm going to click once and then again here, and that opened a dialog box for us. So here, let's say I want to write bedroom, okay? So bedroom 1, for example. And then I'm going to click outside the dialog box to finish it. And it almost looked like the text disappeared. Well, that's not the case. Like I mentioned earlier, the text got created, is just tiny. So it doesn't have the right size assigned from the beginning, at least if you're doing like a floor plan, architectural floor plan, which is what I focus on. The text size is not going to work for us, so we need to change that. So how do we change it? So you can change it basically by going from the top. If you go to Format, and then here you go down to Text Style. So let's click on that. So here we're going to see we have Standard. Now, if you're starting an empty drawing, you're only going to see Standard and maybe Annotative Style. Okay, so for Standard, when you click on it, it says 0 at the text type. So that's not going to work for us. So what we're going to tell it is we're going to say 6 inches, for example. No need to put the inch symbol, but that's what it understands. I'm going to hit apply. And now when we create the text, so let's redo this again. And we open the dialog box and we're going to type bedroom 1. We'll click outside the dialog box. And boom, this got created properly. And don't forget to delete the old small text that we had earlier. So that way our drawing is clean and no clutter basically. Okay, so that was the text command. The third setting I want to talk about is the dimension. Now, dimension, same problem exactly with text. It comes out really small. Now, there's multiple dimension commands. I'm going to talk specifically about the dimension linear. That's my favorite command to measure in AutoCAD. I think everyone should use it, but you're welcome to try the other ones as well. It's just what I've been used to. So I start that command, dimension linear. I'm gonna click on one point of the drawing, and then here, and then I'm gonna click somewhere here. Now we didn't get the problem of the text being very small. Why? The reason for that is because we've already modified the original text style, which was called standard. The thing is, the text style is actually connected to the dimension style, so it is using that text setting to show us the dimensions. So they are interconnected. So when you change standard, it will reflect on the text size and dimensions. But we still have a problem here, is that it's showing us numbers without units, basically. So we can't tell 288, is it inches, is it feet? The answer is inches, in case you're wondering, but it's not showing us even the symbol. So how do we fix that? And if you notice, we're also not seeing like the arrows here on the ends. See, like they're very, very small. So we're gonna fix that. And the way we do that is just how we access the text style. Is basically we're also gonna go to format from the top, and then we're gonna go to dimension style. At this point, you probably figured this is how you edit the style of so many things basically in AutoCAD. But we're focusing in this video on text style, dimension style, units, and I forgot to mention snap setting. I'll get back to that in a second. So here's dimension style. So here what we're gonna do, like I mentioned earlier, you should only be seeing standard and annotative when you're working on a drawing and an empty drawing. So here I'm gonna click, so the way it works here, it's a little different than the text settings. So you need to select standard or the style you're trying to modify. Then you hit the gear and then you click modify, and this will open for us another window. Now this window might feel like it has a lot of settings, but really there's like maybe 3 or 4 you wanna focus on, okay? So let's hit to the text first and just highlight, like I mentioned to you, this is using text style standard, and that's why the text style already comes out big enough. So we're okay on that, but in case that wasn't the case, you can change it and fix it, and I think you understand how. So the first thing we want to fix is actually the units. So we want to tell it like, okay, show me inches and feet. And just like how we did with the units in the very beginning of the video, we need to do the same for dimensions. You might be thinking, why wasn't that a single setting? Fortunately, this is how AutoCAD is designed. But anyway, so to do that, we're going to hit to the primary units tab. And then from here, we're going to change the unit format from decimal also to architectural. And you can see on the window right here on the right side, it's already giving us a preview of like the settings we're applying, how it's going to look like in the drawing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to change, we're going to go to symbols and arrows. And then from here, I like to switch the style to architectural tick, and you'll see what I mean. And then where it says arrow size, I'm just going to match it kind of with the text size. Maybe if we click here, okay, now it applied, and boom, now you can see in the preview, this is how we're going to see our dimensions in the drawing. Okay, so these are the only settings I want to focus on. You're welcome to explore the other ones, and I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to hit close, and now the dimension is basically visible. So you can see here the number is clearly visible. It says the unit, and we also have the tick marks on the side, and which shows their size. And now if I do a couple more, we can do just to see how it looks like. Okay, this is good. Gonna hit return again to restart the command. Okay, this is all good. Perfect. Now the last setting I forgot to mention earlier is actually the snap settings. So how do you access the snap setting? The snap settings are actually what allows us to connect to the points. Like see how I was adding the dimension right now? I was able to click from this point, from this exact point. This one is called endpoint, and you can see AutoCAD is highlighting it. So, and then to reach the other endpoint. So the ability to do that is actually a setting, and that setting is called snap settings. How do we reach them? You need to look on the bottom right side of your software interface. So here it says object snap. So in case it wasn't working, you need to activate it. In case it's still not working, even though the command is active, you need to access this, and basically you want to select all of these settings. Now I'm not going to dive deep into each single one of them, but I already highlighted one. I'll just show you another one where basically you're able to select from the middle. So if I do align, and I click here in the middle, you see it will show us a triangle representing the middle point of this line. Okay, so those are the 4 settings. To recap, we did the units, we did the text style, we did the dimension style, and we also did the snap settings. And just to save you time, I'm going to provide you downloads, free downloads where you can download these and already have the settings already set up. So I have this file right here for you. These are basically different dimension styles with different sizes. So basically you just come in here, you copy it, then you go back to your drawing, and then here we're going to paste it somewhere. I did Command C, Command V, so just in case, but you can also right click with the mouse. And then when you do that, and now you go to, if you want to change the current style you are using in your drawing, look on the right side where it says properties and see where it says dimension style. The current style it's using is standard, but if you change it, for example, to 24, okay? So now I'm going to do this. I'm just going to illustrate it once. So here we go. So see, this is the size that shows for the size 24, for the style 24. So if you do 48, that's going to be double the size. So we're going to do this again. And boom. And you can see, and you get the idea. The next one is even going to be double the size, even bigger. So that way you have all the different dimension styles you might need, okay, depending on your floor plan. And I'm also going to provide you the same, the text styles. You can also copy this. You just place it in your drawing. And boom, now you have the text styles. So you change that from the properties. You click here and you say, I want to use this text style. And now when you are typing text, let's say we're calling this the kitchen. You can see this is the size of it. I use 96, and this is how it comes out to be. Okay. All right. So if this video helped you today, you can like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.